welcome to Tell Me Rune podcast, or Tell Me Are You Not Entertained? I'm your co-host, Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
And this week, we are going to do a recap of the MTV Music and TV Awards that happened last night. 5/7, May 5th, May 7th.
Did you did you really have to say the date and then?
Well, this isn't going to be up. This isn't going to be up like the next day, so I felt like I have to preference by saying the date. And there's a lot of numbers, and it's the end of the day. Don't worry about it. So let's just jump into it. This is the first MTV Awards. It was hosted by Adam Devine, and this is the first one that put TV in as within the categories. Last forever, since forever, it was just movies. This year, it was also television, and there was no gender barrier in any of the categories. So there was no best actress in a movie and a best actor in a movie. It was just best actor in a movie, and they just threw in men and women. So let's preference this off by saying, did we watch it?
Nope. Not at all.
Definitely not. I did not watch it either, but we know who the winners are. And really, it's just 2 hours of people just patting themselves on the back and then terrible music guests and all this other stuff. I don't need to see the one girl from Fifth Harmony sing with Pitbull.
Wait, there was musical guests? I didn't know about this. So I guess the Fifth Harmony chick with Pitbull?
Yeah.
Oh, was that it?
No, there was more, but that's the only. That's not. It's not. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's make that the only thing. That was the only one that showed up. But yeah. So we have the list of categories, and we've already discussed some of this earlier, and I think this is going to get into a heated discussion, especially about movie of the year and best actor.
For sure.
Who won. So where would you like to start?
I say, you know what? Let's get it off your chest. Since I know you were already angry about it before, but was it movie of the year? Was it that you were mostly getting angry about? Yeah, let's start there. Go ahead.
All right, so let's preference this off by saying that the movie of the year. So the nominations were Beauty and the Beast, Get Out, Logan, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and The Age of 17. The Edge of 17, not The Age of 17. Yeah, it's The Edge. I just saw. I can read my computer screen when it's 6 inches from my face. Faith.
This is gonna be such an awesome podcast. I can already feel it. This is awesome. But yeah, no. I'm gonna let Andrew go ahead because he was ranting all about this earlier. So I like to have him get it off his chest first.
So the whole deal and scenario is that you have at least 3 movies that are considerably good. Personally, I love Get Out. Get Out, I think, is one of the best films of 2017, and I think it will stay that way, holding an impressive 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a smaller film, Jordan Peele's directorial debut, and not really having a really, really well-known cast and whatnot. And for what it was, I think it was amazing. And for that, I saw it twice in theaters. So for that, I'm going to always put my eggs in the Get Out basket. And this year, Get Out had the most nominations with 6. Logan, finally a rated R Wolverine movie. And if I think of MTV Movie Awards, I think of Logan. That's where, that's your bread and butter and all this other stuff. Rogue One, never saw it, so. And who needs to give more awards to Star Wars stories?
Racist.
That's not race, but whatever. The Edge of 17. Never saw it, but I heard it was good. It's another one of those small indie films with Haley Steinfeld. But I heard it was really good, I guess. I didn't hear too many bad things about it, but I also didn't hear a ton of other stuff about it. But none of those won. Beauty and the Beast won. Why?
Okay, first and foremost, I would like to say that before I get into my debate mode with Andrew, is that Andrew doesn't even like the Beauty and the Beast to begin with. He didn't like it. Did you ever see the original at all whatsoever?
The cartoon?
They animated, yes.
Yeah, I saw the cartoon.
When did you see that? Did you see that as a young child?
Yeah, as a young child.
Did you like it then?
There's nothing to write home about.
So wait, but why? Why did you not like it at all?
It just wasn't for me. I don't know. I loved Lion King and Hercules way more. And if I had an option of watching that one or say Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, I mean, those stories just didn't speak to me at all, really.
So it kind of feels like you went more for the more masculine type of Disney film versus the more feminine, which I get, but I mean, I understand that the other movies are basically original and more well done than Beauty and the Beast. Oh my God, I'm gonna hit you. It's already begun. But I mean, Beauty and the Beast is like a timeless classic for a lot of people, and especially if you grew up with Beauty and the Beast. And to see it reimagined as not an animated film, I just think, I mean, I'm not taking it away from Beauty and the Beast, but again, for like films like Logan, that's a really hard competitor, in my opinion, to go up against.
I think it comes down to money. I think it came down to money and which one earned the most and who stayed in the theater the longest. And I also think that people have I don't know how to explain it because I want to say a few words, but they're probably not appropriate.
Do it. Just do it.
People just have this huge infatuation with Emma Watson for some reason. And I don't understand it. I get it. She was like everybody's childhood crush growing up because everybody grew up with Harry Potter. And I can get that. I mean, she's adorable. I'm sure she's a great actress. I haven't seen her in too many things because she was under contract with Harry Potter for like years and years and years. But I mean, I just don't understand it. And she won Best Actress or Actor in a movie. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, and that one gets me too because James McAvoy, who does 23 different characters in this Split movie, yet nothing. He gets nothing. He gets thanks for showing up, bro, to this fake award show that MTV decides that they want to do because they want to just toot their own horn and, oh, is nobody watching 16 and Pregnant? Oh, come watch MTV and TV Music Award. There's not even music in this. It's music television, yet they do movies and television and no music anyway. So I just think it's just infatuation and then, I don't know. It just was like, whatever. Like both those categories were just like, in my opinion. I hope that comes out really well on the mic.
With your little... But okay, well, also let's take it back to also. I like to give background on Andrew, what he hates. So because I just think as though he takes that hatred and it spills over to other things. He doesn't like Harry Potter, so of course he's not gonna like Emma. But I will say for McAvoy, yes, I haven't seen the movie Split, but I keep hearing about it. And anything that McAvoy does, it's good. But again, I've seen Emma and other things, and she's perfect in everything. She's an amazing actress. So I'm just saying, oh my God, I want to hit you. I'm just saying that, do you really think it's a surprise that someone who's been a part of all these different franchises or one main franchise right now wouldn't get the award versus someone in Split with a movie that most probably not all teenagers went out to see? Because that's what it is aimed towards, is just teenagers. So it's just a higher level of the Nickelodeon awards. That's it.
I never got a ruling, but who picks these winners? Is it all like voting or
don't freaking
something?
know.
Because that's what I don't know who's picking these winners. I feel like I want to say that this is rigged for the
Well,
Disney thing.
duh.
So I mean, I'm just saying. But I just think they got it way wrong right off the bat. They got it way wrong. They got it way wrong with picking Beauty and the Beast. You know what? Give the best actor in the movie to Emma Watson, even though I think James McAvoy could have gotten it easily, and Taraji P. Henson for Hidden Figures, which everybody was raving about. I mean, you could give it to Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. Like I said already, my personal preference for that, but I just don't know. I get it. She probably did really well, even though every review I heard about Beauty and the Beast, she was the weak link in the movie from her singing and all this other stuff. So I rebuttal.
Okay, you're gonna have to bleep me for this because that's complete and utter bullshit. First and foremost, with Emma, yes, she doesn't have the most powerful voice like Belle in the actual like Disney animated film, but seriously, like she didn't need to belt it out like that. Honestly, I mean, her performance was flawless as Belle. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. Anyways, you don't really have to put that much forethought into that character, in my opinion. So for them to like try to rip her apart is complete bull. I'm just saying.
Again, I didn't see it, but I'm just going to say that's what I've heard. And I mean, I'm sure she did a great job for being Belle. I don't know. I just think with the other performances and the other scripts, I mean, this is just perpetuating Disney to be like, yeah, let's just redo all our movies and sell them for way bigger prices. And guess what? That's all we're going to get. As the years go by, only big blockbusters.
This is awesome, by the way.
Only the biggest blockbusters that are coming from Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, or anything is going to get the major screens. And movies like Get Out and Slight and Gifted and all these kind of the nice guys are all going to get pushed out of the way, go straight to Netflix, go straight to pay-per-view where they're not going to get seen anyways. And then nobody's going to be even wanting to get on those projects, or studios won't want to put money towards those types of projects. So it's just perpetuating it. I know they have like 19 movies, remakes, live action remakes already in the thing. So whatever, it's inevitable. So let's just get on with it.
But then again, in the same breath, you also said, I'm like, who really takes all this like seriously with these award shows? I'm like, it just probably they needed a filler, so they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna put this movie in. So, and that's about it. But I mean, I don't think the movie's going to decrease in what people view it as if they don't win an MTV Movie Award. Because I mean, they don't put that on the freaking sticker on the DVD saying that they're MTV Movie Award winner.
And if they do, it comes off desperate.
Wait, has that ever happened before?
I'm sure of it. I don't know what movie would have that on the cover, but if you guys find, whoever's listening finds that on a movie cover, tweet it at Tell Me Rune. Or if you know of a movie that put that on there. I'm sure there has to be.
Oh, I mean,
there has to be.
No, not even an MTV like produced film. I don't think that they would put a sticker on there.
Because even an MTV produced movie wouldn't win an MTV Music or TV award. Just saying.
True.
So we can just I feel like I've gotten everything off from that. I think I'm good.
Sure?
I think I'm good. I'm getting into the whole conspiracy of what the film and TV will be in like the next couple of years, but I think Get Out, Split, and we're robbed of both of these of the fake popcorn awards that used to be Spaceman, which was cooler as Spaceman. And now they're buckets of popcorn. So congratulations.
So wait, I know the Moon Man is for music. So was it also for the movies as well?
I don't know.
See, you don't even know. You're trying to state facts and you don't know.
Whatever. State facts on fake awards.
Exactly.
So whatever.
You're so angry about these award shows that doesn't matter.
This awards, legit no awards matter, but this one doesn't even matter. And can I just say, for an award show that doesn't matter, it was broadcasted on 6 different channels.
Wait, what?
Yeah, didn't you see the message I sent you last night about how many channels it was put on?
Oh, I was completely out of it. I was at a Blink show, so my bad.
Thanks. So the awards were shown on MTV and MTV2 per usual. VH1. It was on BET. It was on TV Land. It was on Comedy Central, and I think it was on E or something. It was one of those other programs. And so, as I was flipping through, it was just on all of them. And I could understand Comedy Central because Adam Devine is starring in it, and he had his friends from Workaholics, Anders Holm, and Blake. I can't remember. Blake Anderson? Is that his character name, or is that his real name? I don't remember.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's just go with that. It's his real name. It's really weird when they use their first real names and then their non-real names as the second one. But so I understood where Comedy Central was coming from, but then it's there's nothing. I guess there's nothing on Sunday nights on any of these other programs that they're just let's bring in MTV Awards. And there's nothing different. It's not like there's color commentary going over the sound system. Like in basketball, in college basketball, when it gets to the Final Four or whatever, the Final Four or whatever, they'll broadcast the games on different networks, but the networks will be for different teams. So the color commentary will be for team away on TNT, but on True TV, it'll be for the home team commentary. Or if you're just a fan that's watching it because you gambled on these games, it'll be neutral. So for the MTV Awards, it's just which channel are you closest to? It's I don't know why there's so many different channels that decided to broadcast it. And I don't know why MTV decided to allow other people to take the stuff from it, broadcast it out. I mean, you're just losing your own ad revenue, I feel, unless they're all sister companies and they just allow everybody to just do whatever. So, I don't know. I'm not going to get into the business side about it.
I think you just did. But can I just say that maybe... I don't know. It's weird seeing that... again, I didn't watch it, but I just heard about it because I kept hearing them saying something about tables, and then people would be sitting at tables like it's an actual award show at Golden Globes or something like that. So I'm kind of is it trying to make its move into this big thing that even though nobody, I don't freaking care about it because again, it has no value to the movie, even though awards shouldn't have value to the movie. But for them to be sitting at tables and then having all those networks with it, it's kind of weird to see. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
For a channel that seemed to be more rock star than any other network, Golden Globes on ABC, you're oh, they're all going to be dressed up, they're all going to be doing this, they're all going to be that, and then you got this one where it's where it's going to be oh, we're going to try to be more formal, but we're still the cool guy. It's all right, well, and then we're getting to that point where they're just going to keep doing other stuff. They're trying to push the boundary with adding TV now because TV's become a powerhouse over the last couple of years thanks to Netflix and Hulu and streaming services and on demand. So they're we can't stop. If they just had movie awards, people are saying how bad movies have gotten, which it depends on what you're watching, I think, because this past weekend I watched 4 movies and I was all these movies are good. Whereas it just depends on your feeling and your preferences and all this other stuff. So, and then breaking down the barriers, I think they're trying to climb the ladder to be formal and more into it, and then they're also trying to break the barriers as they're climbing up the ladder, not being gender specific, etc. I don't know what else they do.
Which I mean, I completely and utterly, I completely get, because a male and a female, I mean, they can have, exact same performance. Why separate them? And I get it. It's been like that since forever. So why not just combine them now? Which, I mean, kudos to them for doing that. But again, it's MTV, and it's one of those things like, yeah, you stepped up your game for the movies and television for the award show, but what about your music? That's what your main focus is, and even your network doesn't even promote the music that well. So, what the hell is that?
I don't know. So I'll just stall while you're doing that. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't fully get what they're trying to do. I don't remember what if it was. I think it was Music last year where Miley, I guess, hosted, and then Nicki Minaj kind of called her out and stuff. And I don't know if they got a lot of backlash from that, and they were just like, "Oh, maybe we should really class this thing up around here." So they decided to try it out with these MTV TV and Music Awards, like before they'd try it with the music, because I don't know.
Yeah, because the whole Miley thing, that was just a hot mess. They were just capitalizing on her fame of her being that way, and I don't think it translated that well into the show whatsoever. So it was just another hot mess show as per usual. Because I don't think I know the award shows, even comparing between the music and the movies, it really hasn't been that great, in my opinion, since Jimmy Fallon hosted. And that was hilarious when he hosted. So that's how long it's been.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never really watched it. I like the intros more than the actual show, and I watched those years later. And those were great, but the movies were also good. Like they put in, I remember the one intro where they had The Matrix with Jimmy Fallon going into the Matrix, and he finds Andy Dick in the middle of like the crowd and stuff. And then he called for a ride, and then Batman came and picked him up, and then he was going off the thing. And it's like, that is great. And then I never really watched them as a kid. So, and now I'm like, don't really care about them. So, and plus all the categories are made up every year. I feel like there's some categories that I've never seen before. And I mean, I just think they're all made up, and they're come off the spot, and they're just like, oh yeah, let's just throw this in. Like, let's fit these movies into a category to make them, I don't know. And then just to fill 2 to 3 hours with this, like it seems painful just to think about it.
No, I completely agree with that. I just, again, like one of the categories was trending, and it's like, why is that really relevant to that? I mean, yeah, I get it, because everybody's on social media, so they're going to put in a trending thing, which Channing won when he lip synced Beyonce. And I know his wife was on there too, and she did a Magic Mike skit as well. So, I don't know. Yeah. Again, if anybody like did not watch the Jimmy Fallon, again, I know you kept bringing him up too, because it's one of the memorable ones. Me and my friends quote it all the time. It's the Star Wars one where he's debating with Ewan McGregor about how he got barbecue sauce on his robe, and he absolutely does not like barbecue sauce, and then he flips into the lava. Best thing ever.
Yeah, no. Just those intros were great, and I don't know. This one, I had a point I was going to bring up, but I can't remember what it was. So maybe we'll just keep talking about these, and we'll just keep going. Oh no, I know what I was going to say. It's ironic that they have a trending category, and yet all the videos that they posted are just done. Like, they're not really trending anymore. Like, oh, these videos, these get the trending award, and it's like, yeah, they're all old. Trending is only supposed to be something that's trending has a shelf life of maybe 3 days, depending on how big it is, its scale, how fast it flies through the internet and social media. And it's like, yeah, those videos were kind of cool. Lady Gaga singing Carpool Karaoke, and Jimmy Fallon doing a voice impressions with Demi Lovato, and it's just like, yeah, but how long were those videos up? Like Jimmy Fallon and James Corden are on a schedule of putting out content every single day, and it's like, oh, one video's done, all right, the next one. It's like, what's really so these videos are all old, and it's just like them just basically whoever picked it is just like, oh, I like this video more. Like, there's no real, like, I couldn't think that there's a formula on that. I don't know.
Your marketing degree is paying off. No, I agree, because I mean, some of these, as you said, they're old, and some of these, I don't think they trended, but they didn't trend as much as other ones that should have been brought up. Like when you said something about Jimmy Fallon, Demi Lovato, I'm like, there were other people that had way better impressions than her. I know Celine Dion did one. She was awesome. I know Ariana Grande, who's known for her impressions. There's just so many out there that I'm kind of, again, how do they pick these? And I know, I don't know if they did it or not, but they usually sometimes have it where fans text in, call in, or whatever for a certain category. And I don't know if that may have been one of them and they voted. I'm not sure. But I just don't understand how they got some of this crap.
I just think it's all rigged. I think they have like a setup. They have to have a script so far in advance and rehearse it over and over again that they could say that, oh, well, but let the fans decide, and they'll get hits and clicks and all this other stuff to get ad revenue. And then guess what? They're still going to do whatever they did. Like, they're not going to show you their analytics or anything and just be like, and even if they did show you it, they can fudge the numbers. Like, they can have their people doing that. I know, conspiracy for a fake news thing. This is my thing right now. This is what this podcast is. Like, the MTV Movie Awards are rigged. But we got let's just go through some of the categories that I don't think we have any trouble with, or who won. You got Show of the Year. Winner is Stranger Things. Give it to them. They deserve it. Best Actor in a Show. Millie Bobby Brown. Give it to her. She did the great thing. Best Kiss. I called it. It's the two teenagers from Moonlight. It's almost like if they didn't give it to them, like it would be a little awkward. And then if they didn't give it to them, I mean, who else in that category do you give it to? I mean, nothing. Like if they gave it to Zac Efron and Anna Kendrick for Mike and Dave Needs Wedding Dates, like I would have been like, this is the worst thing in the world. They're just giving it for the names of the people that were in the movie, not for Best Kiss anyway. So I don't know.
I'm all for seeing Zac Efron like kiss on screen, but not with a robot like that. No. So I would have been really pissed off if they would have gave it to them.
You heard that, Anna Kendrick. If you're listening, Lilani just called you out on our first call out on the podcast.
Bring it.
So if anybody's keeping score, the call out scoreboard is me at 130 people and Lilani at 1, because Anna Kendrick she could not hold her tongue with Anna Kendrick.
I'll go for 2. Olivia Wilde, come at me. Let's do this.
If you guys fight, I hope Jason Sudeikis comes and watches it, because I love that dude. I will try to be his best friend. I'll be like, I can't believe my friend's doing this. What are you doing later? Do you want to hang out? Maybe like play some ping pong, do some karaoke? Best villain, you got Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That was a no-brainer. Definitely not Jared Leto. Best host. Now, I already was disgusted by how they picked Trevor Noah for The Daily Show. Trust me, I couldn't do a better job at The Daily Show. There's no way I could do it even remotely. He's doing a bang-up job as much as you can for a guy that's taking over for Jonathan Stewart, who used to do it for Jon Stewart. Jonathan Stewart's the football player.
I was like, you keep properly saying his name, Jonathan. And I was like, you mean just John?
Just wait. He's not going to text me. But he like tweets me. He's just like, "Hey, that's not my name. My name's just John. I'm not even a Jonathan." But either Jonathan or John Stewart, if you want to text me, yeah, why not? But again, he's doing the best he can. But I don't know anything. Like, The Daily Show has not trended in forever, and like I've never seen anything. I'm subscribed to Comedy Central, and I think also The Daily Show, just because I was like that's the only way I was getting news, quote unquote. And I haven't watched a Daily Show in forever, just because I'm like, it won't be the same. And a lot of people are saying it's not the same, but just some of the other people in the category were Ellen DeGeneres, John Oliver, RuPaul, which I guess, and Samantha Bee. Well, just because it's not, I would consider RuPaul's Drag Race. It is a host, but he's.
Have you watched it?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
But I don't know. He's like the different one in that quintet. Just because the other ones have just shows about them and what they're doing. They're all talk show hosts. They're all, I mean, to me, I would have given it to Ellen. Ellen's killing it every year, all year. I get it. Let's give a new guy a shot. John Oliver, I haven't watched his videos in a while, but his HBO show is going well. I'm not a huge fan of Samantha Bee, but a lot of people wanted her to take over The Daily Show. Her show, Full Frontal, from TBS, is doing well. She did get in a little hot water for making fun of a guy with a brain injury and stuff. But I mean, I would have given it to Ellen or John Oliver, because I think they're doing way better with their own shows. Whereas again, Trevor Noah is doing as good a job as he can, but I just wouldn't have gave it to him in that ensemble.
Wait, so who won in that ensemble? Who won?
Trevor Noah.
Okay, he won. Yeah. I mean, I would have been, again, I get it, like with RuPaul being mixed with that, because it is a different kind of beast that she's handling versus everybody else. But I mean, the quotes that she says, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's kind of, they're both funny and serious at the exact same time as far as hosting wise, because it can get serious. But I don't know. I guess maybe with Trevor Noah, that he's a new kid on the block, and what he's done thus far with what he can, that people tend to gravitate towards him. I don't know.
I get you. One name I thought was weird to be left out was Jimmy Fallon. I mean, again, I get it. He's a cheese ball. But, I mean, if you're going to put in a lot of these names, I would have thrown his name in there just because he trends. People seem to like him a lot. I like him when he has certain people on there, but I'm not like a Jimmy Fallon kind of, like, all the time kind of guy. Best documentary goes to 13th. I thought OJ Made in America would win it. I can't speak on any of the other ones because I didn't watch any of those other documentaries. I watched Tickled instead of all these other ones. If you want to watch Tickled, go to HBO now or HBO.com or anything else. You can watch Tickled. Tickle. Best reality competition goes to RuPaul's Drag Race. That's fine. Compared to all the best comedic performance goes to Lil Rel for Get Out. I'm okay with that.
All I gotta say is Dahmer, and that's it. And I was dead. Just wait for the Dahmer part.
He killed it. When he was on screen, he stole it. Like, he took me out of the movie, and I was like, can we just have a little Rel movie? Right. Best hero went to Taraji P. Henson for Hidden Figures, which is really crazy because I'm just now looking at the nominees, like, for real, and she's actually legit in categories with other superheroes and people that played with superhuman abilities. Like, she went up against the guy from Arrow, Millie Bobby Brown, who won earlier. She was up against her. She was up against Luke Cage, The Flash, and Felicity Jones from Star Wars, and she took it. So I mean, that's pretty good. I think that's good.
I think that makes a huge statement as to what we consider heroes or not. I mean, yes, you have all those people that have superhuman powers and all that, versus a woman who went in, and especially a woman who of a color went in and did what she did. So I think that speaks in so many volumes.
I totally agree. Tearjerker went for This Is Us when two guys were at karate. I haven't watched that show. I think I watched it because it's a specific moment that was a tearjerker. It wasn't like the actual show. I thought it was going to be a show, and might as well give it to This Is Us because I heard that's really powerful, emotionally tugging show to watch. Which I want to just bring up that I watched a pretty awesome movie this weekend. I watched Gifted with Chris Evans and McKenna Grace, and that movie was fantastic. It was really heartfelt. It made me feel like every emotion that you could ever feel in a human life, all in the span of like less than 2 hours, and it was fantastic. I tweeted out how much I love the movie, and McKenna Grace, the small girl in it who plays Mary, she liked it. So
nice.
So thumbs up to you, McKenna Grace. We don't have beef with you. So Next Generation Award went to Daniel Kaluuya. Again, I don't know what that means. Next Generation, I guess, just because he's new to the block, like he's just new, so he did a great performance. So later on, he can. I'm gonna take it like that because I don't have the power to look it up or want to look it up. You have Best Duo, which again I think is one of these kind of categories. Best Duo went to Hugh Jackman and Daphne Keane for Logan. Definitely give it to him. I think that's you got to, especially out of all the other people that were on this category. Adam Levine and Blake Shelton on The Voice. What? They're not even together. They're just competing against each other and poke fun at each other during the whole thing. Like, it's just The Voice is basically watching Adam Levine and Blake Shelton goof around with each other and criticize normal people for singing, and then laugh as they know they're going to sell billions and billions of albums and rake in just money. Like, who heard of Maroon 5 before The Voice came out? And then everybody was like, I love Adam Levine. Now Adam Levine has a #1 hit like every 3 months. And they play it every hour on the hour. So, joke's on us.
Well, now if you at first, because when you were talking about this category and I wasn't thinking about the last names, I thought you meant Adam and Blake from like Workaholics, and I'm like, yes. And then you talked about The Voice. I was like, oh, never mind. That's just a horrible combination then.
Which that would have been pretty rude to just have only Adam and Blake from Workaholics, where Anders is just like, hey, I'll just stay down here. I'm just the third wheel, like always. Daniel and Lil Rel from Get Out was put in there. They had great chemistry when they did talk to each other, but I don't think they had enough time in the movie together. Like, they weren't even in the same room, basically, until closer to the end of the movie. Like,
spoiler.
I mean, it's not that big of a spoiler. I didn't say what happened.
Spoiler.
But, I mean, they talked on the phone most of the time, and it was fun, but I don't think they fledged it out enough. Atlanta, there's 3 people, so why make that weird? Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, I think they just threw in... I think that they threw that in there because it was an MTV show. And then Josh Gad and Luke Evans for Beauty and the Beast, which... No. But I think they got the winner right on the thing. The problem is, I think they made the category with Hugh Jackman and Daphne Keane already winners, and then they had to throw in people around them. And that's where we get Blake Shelton and Adam Levine as nominations, as a serious nomination. A Best American Story, Blackish, sure. Let's go with that. I heard great things about it. Haven't watched it yet.
It's a really good show.
Best Fight Against the System, one of these categories that are just like, whatever. You got Hidden Figures, which Taraji P. Henson won for the best hero, so it kind of makes sense. The other ones were Get Out, Loving, Luke Cage, and Mr. Robot. Do you have any preference on that one? Did you want Mr. Robot to win? Is that a good? Does it fit into this category?
Well, I mean, for Mr. Robot, that's all about what the show is about, is a fight against the system, which I love that show. If we ever do a segment about that show, whenever it does come back, I will just keep going on and on about it. But as far as Hidden Figures against the system, I mean, all of those movies, honestly, it fits within that category perfectly. Especially, I know the Loving Story, which with a biracial couple. So, but yeah, I mean, Mr. Robot, that's a whole different fight against the system, which a lot of the other ones are mostly based on race. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like, it's kind of an oddball against all the rest of them.
Yeah, I get you. Dang it, I was going to come back in with a System of a Down, singing System of a Down. But I couldn't get Testify out of my mind, and I was like, that's not System of a Down. Do one.
Wait, were you mixing up Rage Against the Machine with...
I used to do that, and then all I could think about was Killing in the Name of. And then, because that was like, when I think of breaking down a system, I go to Testify. But then I'm like, no, I should do a System of a Down song, which then I would just be screaming on this mic, like over and over again. Shake up. Brother was makeup. I just shake up. I don't want to do the yelling parts because that would be too loud. So I just did the whispering parts. So you're welcome, all the viewers. Trending, we already talked about that one. You got Run the World with Channing Tatum. Yeah, let's just go with that. I mean, one of them was Winona Ryder's winning SAG Awards reaction. And she was like freaking out up there. Like, I don't know what she was on, but... Go ahead with that.
I liked when they made her eat pizza. Like she kept like looking around in the pizza and then it went in her mouth.
All right, and finally we got best musical moment, best musical moment, which went to "You're the One That I Want" by Grease Live. I like Grease, and the live version was actually not that bad. I like Julianne Hough and stuff.
Well, I guess I'm a weird one. I hate Grease completely and utterly, and so I even tried the live version.
Get out.
Whatever. I like Grease too. I own Grease too.
Wait.
Yep.
What? You're in the 1% of. You're in the 0.001% who's like, I don't like Grease 1, but Grease 2 is good. It's like, no.
That's because Grease 2 did not take itself seriously whatsoever, and they were like, we're going to write something like oddball, and Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer, and I like the song Cool Rider in it. But other than that, yeah, I own the movie, but I refuse to like Grease whatsoever.
That's just weird. I learned something that I probably shouldn't have about you today, and that's this whole Grease thing. My mind is just blown.
You're welcome.
I don't know about that. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's all the nominations. I don't know what they filled that 2 hours with, 2 to 3 hours with, because we went through that with ranting in a reasonable amount of time.
I'm still trying to look up the musical guests because I just wanted to know exactly who they thought would be good for this particular awards show. And again, I know Camila from Fifth Harmony, who left the group, doing her own thing, perform with Pitbull. And I'm trying to figure out who else, because of course I don't think they just had one guest.
No, they probably had more, but I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. Gosh, I hope my audio is going. I just see a straight line right now. Oh. And we've been talking for almost 45 minutes. So I have no clue if this is even picking up. I see green lines, but I don't think so, because this doesn't have green lines in it. Wait,
because mine never had green lines up there either.
Does yours actors have Green Lantern?
No, just the narration vocal part, like exactly what you have, but not on the top.
Okay, well, maybe it's working. All right, a little freak out right there. We might
Just itty bitty.
just a little
Itty bitty.
little. We might be doing that all over again if this doesn't work out. But yeah, again, didn't watch it. Don't really care about it. All awards are fake and stupid, and they're either even the People's Choice Awards. You think you're actually voting for who you think is gonna win, and you want your people to win. They're just getting your votes, man. They're getting your likes, they're getting your ad revenue, and they're gonna put whoever they decide to put up there as the winner. So, and realistically, they've done surveys about if something gets an award, does that make people like it more? And it's like, no, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So, I don't know.
Sorry, I was looking up like best and worst moments, and I went to billboard.com. And I saw that Vin Diesel, he made an award acceptance speech for Generation Award. Mm-hmm. So, because I mean, for some reason he keeps popping up the most. I mean, I know his movie's out, but he's like everywhere. I mean, even in the video that you showed me, which is funny. But that's off subject. So I saw that he got that award. I was looking up other stuff that was going on. Oh, one of the ones, this had one of the worst moments was the La La Light and Moonland joke that, of course, Amy Schumer did. She said something about good show, but not becoming the 77th consecutive award show to parody the Oscars. What the hell? Sorry. No, I just saw Amy Schumer's name, so I'm like, it's probably bad. So, and that was one of the worst moments.
Yeah, I don't know. Amy Schumer. I just feel bad for Goldie Hawn and everybody who wrote that movie Snatched that's coming out on Mother's Day, because I just think nobody's going to go see it. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't watch it. I did other things like watch The Last Man on Earth, edited, and then I watched Houston and San Antonio play because I'm cool with basketball.
And I just went to Sunfest over the weekend and saw John, Billion, Kaleo, and Blink 182. And then Thursday before that I saw Macklemore. So, yeah.
Not bad. All right, so I think this is a good time to switch topics. And we're going to talk about something that has been trending for a while now. It hit the internet like a ton of bricks, and everybody's now speculating. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is going to get a spinoff. Nope, that's a lie. It's getting 4 spinoffs. That's right. It was announced that this next season is going to be the final season, but HBO can't let this series go because it's the breadwinner. It's its biggest series ever. And I mean, we all had to have seen this coming. Like, they're not just going to get rid of this series just because, oh, well, the writers think it's a good time to go. So we'll just pack up all that ad revenue and hopefully Westworld will keep everybody in its seats. It's like, no, let's just make 4 different spinoffs, and HBO will soon become Game of Thrones network. So that's fun to see.
Well, I mean, look at what AMC did with Walking Dead. They have Fear the Walking Dead. And then you have, I mean, once Breaking Bad ended, then they have Better Call Saul. So it's just like they know their bread and butter, and they know that these dedicated fans to these shows are going to immediately transfer over and watch whatever that show it's in connection with. They're going to watch it. So it makes sense.
I don't know. I love Breaking Bad, and season 2 of Better Call Saul just lost me. Like, I love Bob Odenkirk. I wish they would do more of his Netflix show with David Cross, because I thought that was actually really funny and really clever. But his Better Call Saul, it just feels like a money grab, which, whatever. And the Fear of the Walking Dead just seems like another cash grab. Like, all right, 2 Walking Dead shows that I'm definitely not watching still. And, yeah, I don't know. I just Game of Thrones. It's to me, just me personally, it's wearing me down. Like I think the best episodes of Game of Thrones are the first two and the last two, and the middle is so boring. And now we get four new shows of Game of Thrones that are going to be the same exact thing. One speculation is that Ned Stark, a prequel to Ned Stark being young and stuff, is going to get that. Is going to get a storyline. There's a lot of talks about the Mad King maybe getting one where they show him and then he's going to turn mad, and that's going to be the whole thing. Why did he turn there? What's going on? So, but George R. R. Martin is not, I repeat, not necessarily linked to any of these new series. Basically, HBO is like, we got it from here. We already passed him, and we'll pass him again. So, basically, they're saying these shows are going to be their own entity. Whether George R. R. Martin writes these books and makes them so, or we're going to make them and it's almost like a chicken and the egg kind of thing. Like if they make the shows and then he writes the books, which do people believe more? Will they be like, oh, I like the shows and now I'm reading the book and the book is different? People are just going to pick their own truth, I feel. And if he even writes it, I mean, he's been kind of like dragging his feet over this last book that they've already surpassed him on. I mean, he's already delayed it, and I'm sure I thought it had something to do with the actual show. But, I mean, whatever. They're just like throwing him in the dust, like, thanks for the rights. Peace.
No, but I mean, it's one of those things because I mean I'm intrigued to read the books because I have a couple books. I haven't read them yet, but just to see the difference and if it could add more volume to the characters and can develop them a little bit more versus what the show can. So again, you shouldn't really mesh the two anyways. But I'm really intrigued with, I mean, there's so many characters that they can go and take and then do a backstory on. More developed. Like, I know everybody wants to see more Daenerys. Like, I'm sure she'll get a spinoff, like, hands down. And then the Stark family, because they've been the underdog since day one. So they want to see how that all developed. So they can go, again, with so many spinoffs and make so much money because everybody wants to know that specific backstory.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me how many characters are in this. Are in the series, because I get lost with who's from where, what's going on. I know they say their like full name and where they're from, but it's like, oh my gosh, who are you again? Like, the only one I could keep a track on was Hodor. But anybody else, I'm like, who are you? Like, I feel bad because like half the episode, I'm like looking at other people going like, is it natural for me not to know what's going on in half of this episode? Because, I mean, you're just talking to like this guy for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I hope this pans out in the next like 6 episodes, and then something happens, and you're like, I'm still not even finished with last season. I still have the last 3 episodes to do. Like, this felt like such a chore just getting to that point, and then I already know what happens with some of the stuff at the end, and I'm just like, cool, whatever. I'm just... I don't know. It's just not I don't think it's my thing. And I know I'm in the minority. Whatever. I'm just like, I'd rather watch The Last Man on Earth with Will Forte than watch Game of Thrones. It's sad because I felt the same way with American Horror Story. I was just like, I want to go watch Wilfred. So that's just my deal. I mean, like what you want. I'm just not into this whole thing.
I mean, every season's going to be hit and miss. And again, I'm with you where I'm still behind with the last season, which I need to hurry up and watch that because I think I'm only a few episodes behind, just so I can finally watch this last one because I'm sure there's going to be spoilers galore, and I really hate spoilers beyond belief. So, but I mean, and especially with American Horror Story, I thought it was the most genius thing is that you don't necessarily have to watch each season or even in order because it's not necessarily linked. It is now, but I don't know. I just feel as though with Game of Thrones, it's a thing that I don't think anybody wants to end whatsoever, because there's so many unanswered questions that still need to be answered.
I almost feel like it's going to be a Lost kind of thing where they bring up so many questions and then it's like, well, how are you going to answer them all? And then it's just like, oh, I don't know. We got like 8 episodes to do it because it's like a cut down season that's coming up. It's going to be like maybe 6 episodes, and the last 2 are supposed to be like an hour and something each. So it's like, oh, well, we'll answer them. And it's just like, I feel like it's just going to be like the ice people coming in and then just destroying everything and taking over the world. And they're just like, all right, answered. You're welcome. Wait for this summer to see more of next summer for the spinoffs. And it's like, all right, cool. Thanks, man. I'm really glad this happened this way.
Well, I mean, I know like years ago, George R.R. Martin said that every single character that you love is going to die. So I'm like, so is this what's going to happen? Like within these episodes, are you just like majority of them are going to die, or are they going to wait till the spinoff and then kill them off from there?
Yeah, that was a huge thing that they said, which was, he said in Latin, all men will die or something, or all men must die. And I think it's so funny that in TV that can't be the real thing, because everybody loves these characters so much, and you like keep on going. Like there's multiple people that are like, if Tyrion dies, I'm not watching the series anymore. And like, when was the last time we saw a major character that everybody loves died? Jon Snow, but he came back. So don't worry, that's not even real. So,
spoiler.
Okay, so if you haven't been on the internet since the first thing, there was memes and everything of him just waking up, and even gifs of like, oh, when you smell bacon in the morning, and then he's like, and all this other stuff. So,
it's still a spoiler.
But I mean, it's just funny to me, like, oh, in the books, anything could happen. Anybody could die. And then in the TV, it's like, all right, so we got to keep this character going, and we got to keep this character going. And, okay, who should we kill off? Let's kill off that a-hole that married Sansa. Like, oh, people would love that. Yeah, they would love it. But, I mean, it's not even as shocking anymore. After the Red Wedding, the shock value has, like, died off so much because it's just like, all right, cool. And I know Tyrion's never going to die until maybe the very end. Like, oh, no, he's in this. He's getting held up by his father. Oh, I'm glad he killed him. Well, I'm glad that worked out. It's almost like, oh, how are we going to get out of this one? Gee, shucks. Oh, I'm glad that happened. Oh, I'm magically okay.
It's like, whoever wants out of their contract, let us know this season so we can kill you off. Just let you know.
Well, now that the ending is near, let's just kill off everybody. Oh, spoiler alert, we can't do another, we can't pick this back up whenever, so spoiler for everybody. Like, oh, whatever. I don't like this.
Everybody gets eaten by the dragons, and then dragons inherit the earth, and it'll be like Reign of Fire all over again.
One of the spinoffs, if they do kill off everybody and the White Walkers take over all the whole globe, I wouldn't be surprised if they took a spinoff and they just redid all of Game of Thrones, but with White Walkers. So let's just have that going. Like, they have a Ned Stark White Walker, and then he gets decapitated after the first season, and then let's just go with that. Let's just do that. That seems like fair and awesome. But it's whatever. I don't know. I just think it's a cash grab. We have so many merchandises and everything. I mean, like you said, I was going to be like, oh, well, Breaking Bad died off, like, ended, and it's still very popular. But they had Better Call Saul, and it's just like, cool, I guess, whatever. Way, way different. Nothing like Breaking Bad. Kind of like Breaking Bad, but not really. Vince Gilligan did the first episode, and then he was just like, all right, you guys got it. And then, like, they were just like, all right, thanks. And first season was great because there was still a lot of Breaking Bad references in it. And then once season 2 happened, they were just like, oh, we should do something different. And then it just got super boring. And I was just like, everybody's like, oh, did you watch it? I'm just like, no. My uncle's like, oh, do you want me to tell you? And I'm like, I don't care. I really, like, I'm not going to pick it back up. I would watch Breaking Bad all over again before even attempting to pick up where I left off from Better Call Saul. That's just my opinion.
But, I mean, have you not seen the ads for the next season? That looks like it's going to be intense.
Whenever I think of trailers or commercials or anything for anything, I then remind myself how I thought Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman were going to be a good movie from the trailers, and then I was utterly disappointed. My time is very important, and I can't be wasting this on like crappy TV shows. I got to save as much time for Last Man on Earth and all these other shows that, which I just watched the ending of The Good Place, and it is amazing. Like, that ending just knocked me over the head. Like, so unpredictable. It's amazing. The Good Place is on NBC. It stars Ted Danson, Kristen Bell, and then a whole bunch of other people that aren't necessarily known, but they are very good actors. Adam Scott shows up in it. It's done by the same guy who did The Office and Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, and he's one of my favorite showrunners / producers / directors of all time, and especially for TV. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, I gotta see these more original kind of shows than watching all these spin-off shows that I'm probably never gonna like. Just saying.
Hater.
Well, are you excited about them? Like, are you just like, sign me up, let's go, let's watch all these, let's come out one by one?
I can just add it to my list of shows that I need to watch anyways.
There's so many shows that I do that with. You don't even know my Netflix queue, and I'm just like, yeah, add it to my list, add it to my list. And every time I go on Netflix, I look at my queue, and I'm like, no, not today. Not today. But whatever. Maybe there's just a rebellious gene in me, and I just don't like anything like that people are like, oh, I love these. And then I'm just like, no, I don't like them. I don't know why. I just don't like a lot of stuff that people tell me I should like, or that a lot of people seem to like Star Wars, The Hobbit. What's the other ones that we talk about? Harry Potter. I don't hate them. I get the appeal of them, but I'm just like, the Marvel stuff on Netflix. It's super boring. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like whatever.
But yet you're like all on the Guardians of the Galaxy train. So a lot of people like that.
I like the first one. Not really a huge fan of the second one. I don't think we should get into it because I would probably spoil it for everybody and you. And I'm just, oh man, my headache's coming back thinking about it. Oh my gosh. But Joey hit it on the head. Me and Joey talked about it, and we both agreed. Like, he brought up a really good point, and I was like, I think that's what my problem is. I think my major problem is that it doesn't feel complete. It's a second one. There's a third one coming in, and normally sequels, if there's in a trilogy, they have to build it upon each other. And I just think this is a vessel from 1 to 3, and not necessarily a solid second movie. Again, not terrible. I would watch it again, but mostly for Baby Groot. Nothing really hinders more on the story. But again, I think it deserves maybe a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes rather than an 82%. I think more of that is hype and who's casting and who's directing and all this other stuff. But to each their own, just like the MTV Movie Awards, how I don't agree with all of them. People can like what they like. Preferably, I thought Gifted was a way better movie than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I will say that right now, Chris Evans and McKenna Grace and Octavia Spencer and Jenny Slate were a better team unit than Guardians of the Galaxy. And I will fight anybody who thinks differently. Just kidding. I'm pretty sure there's pretty buff guys that or buff women that think that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a great movie, way better than Gifted, and would sorely kick my butt for it.
I would highly like to see this. If that happens, can we just make that a certain day and then I can record it? Because that'd be great for our podcast.
Also, does that count? How much does that count as a call out? Because I think I just called out like a ton of people all at once.
You just called out not only a franchise, but the franchise fans. So I think my two that I just did, I think you just like went way beyond that point.
Okay, I think I'll put some parameters. Wait till the third movie comes out, and then we can fight and do all this other stuff, because I want to see how that turns out. I don't want to get hurt before the trilogy is over. But yeah, Baby Groot is amazing. No spoilers, but Baby Groot makes the movie when he's on the screen. The story is poo, though. So that's all I'm going to say. The story is poo. Do you have anything you have to say? I mean, can I just say that hour and 6 minutes just flew by? I didn't think we talked about the MTV Movie Awards that long. It seemed like 15 minutes, but pretty bite.
Usually when you're bashing on things, the time flies. So when you're having fun like that.
I know. I feel great afterwards, too. So, I think that's it. I think that counts as a good recap and everything. So this is the 6th episode of Tell Me Rune, or Tell Me Are You Not Entertained? If you agreed or disagreed with anything that we said, you can leave us a comment on iTunes. You can tweet us at Tell Me Rune. Talked about the MTV Movie Awards, and Game of Thrones, and simple, but really informative, I thought, about our own opinions. Not about actual facts, but about our own opinions on the stuff. So you can catch this on iTunes, audio only, and we're going to try to put up the video hopefully soon. And you can catch this on iTunes or my own website, drewangelman.com, where you can find my full review for Guardians of the Galaxy, and Gifted, which I put on both on one, because I thought I don't have a lot to say about either. So, yeah.
So you can direct all your hate to his specific website, not ours, not our combination, just specifically his.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Leave me a comment, and I'll mark it as spam, and it will never show up unless you agree with me. But yeah. So thank you for listening, and catch you next time.